Good morning, everyone. It's another fine, fantastic, beautiful, wet, soggy, humid day in Florida. But I digress. Anyways, today we're going to cover the 54 Pontiac as promised. Now, before I get going, I'm going to acknowledge that in the last video on the Caddy, I ironically had my Ford shirt on. Had the good guy's hat on at least. That was quite contradictory to the General Motors crowd, probably. So I figured I'd carry on that tradition. Dukes of Hazzard, Mopar, Pontiac. Hey, at least I have the Chevy hat on, just for you guys. Again, I like them all. I love all the cars. I am a Ford guy. I do love my Mustangs, but I love classic cars. I don't care what they are. 54 Pontiac. This is my wife's car. So this was a vehicle that came with the 59 Caddy. You had to take both. The price was extremely generous, so it afforded us to get both vehicles. Engine does run very quiet, so we know that it's building oil pressure around that. There's no clatter, there's no valve train issues, so very stoked about that. We know nothing else about the car beyond that. We know the brakes are unhooked. I have no idea why. It sat for probably the last 25 years in a barn. We got some pictures we'll probably sprinkle in here, but anywho, this one's probably gonna be in the line of three. This will be the third one we work on once we get the Caddy to a certain stage that we, it's tolerable to drive. Then we're gonna start working on this because my wife is absolutely jonesing to get this on the roads. Now, she really wants a 55 through 57 Bel Air, the Tri-5s. That's what she's always wanted. I have from time to time tried to look to get one. I just don't make that kind of scratch. So this was a great opportunity to get her into a 50s car. Really is a solid car. So we want to get this up and where it's safe and fun for her to drive and she can get out and enjoy it. So I will say on this one, it's raw, folks. So gentlemen, ladies, those who identify a Shelby GT 500 with Taxxum superchargers, hopefully not as a coffee table. This is a raw car here, more so than the Caddy, but I think you're going to enjoy looking at this because it's so unique. We're going to start off here in the front. So we're just going to get through the really obvious stuff right now. Minor scratch on the windshield. I don't know if that's noticeable or not. I may have to zoom in for you guys to pick up on that. A slight door ding on the hood and the fenders, a little bangy bang and that'll come out. Okay, so the story on this is it was sitting in a smaller garage before the larger shop was built, and during a hurricane, and no, not Milton, but one previous to that, probably a few years ago, I'm going to say Irma, an oak tree fell on the garage where this and the Cadillac was sitting. Unfortunately, this took the brunt of the tree limbs when it come through the roof. So we will get that straightened out. I've got a neighbor down the road that's got I've got some body tools, but he's got rams and stuff, and when we're ready to work on this, he's going to help me. Windshield got busted, so we got that taped up. We'll get that replaced soon. It's just not priority right now. Again, this one's sitting, waiting in the queue to work on. Outside of that, though, very solid car, no rust. If there's rust in this car, and yes, I did go over it. Now, I haven't found it. It's solid. And this, like the Caddy, has been repainted a long time ago. This used to be all white from the factory, and it was repainted 54 Pontiac two-tone green color. So true to the Cadillac paint scheme, the previous owner, same owner, repainted this with this paint schema, and both my wife and I, who are not typically fans of green, absolutely love this combination. It is classic, absolutely classic. Now, back in the days, these cars, they were your sports utility vehicles, family vehicles, and they were also your trucks. Yes, this comes with a trailer hitch that's been tied to the frame. So it is Let me get my finger out there. I can't believe I'm doing that. It is, you know, it's everything encompassing. So that's what I love about it. This was somebody's vehicle that had a life. Now, this is the cool stuff. I mean, these doors open and close as if it was on the showroom right out of the dealer. I mean, it is just... And to top that off, these windows, they glide. I mean, they glide as good as a brand new car. So this car has some really, really good features and bones to it. Here's the interior. Now, it did take on some weather when that tree fell, and probably most identifiable back there in the rear here. So yes, there will be some interior. We're going to completely scrap that headliner and then replace it. I'm guessing with something green. We might go with a light green just to keep with the theme, but I'm going to try to find original material and you know, keep true to that. But dashboard is great. I don't know anything about if the gauges are working or not, and the ignition does not always want to work. Unfortunately, it will crank sometimes through the ignition, and sometimes you have to jump it at the starter solenoid. You know, right now it is what it is. Seats are in great shape. Got the gold piping. We did lift the carpets up, and the floors do have surface rust. I'm most likely going to be yanking the interior and the carpet. Sorry for the little bit of storage-esque stuff here, but all this is part of service manuals and stuff, paperwork for both cars. But anyways, we will probably be yanking everything out of here, stripping the floor, cleaning it up. We'll probably put rust inhibitor on it, and then re-put everything back in that's savable. We may get new carpet. I just don't know yet. I'm gonna, like the Caddy, try to keep this as original as possible. All right, so here we go. This is the business end of the vehicle, of course. And I gotta remember how this opens. Now with the hood crunched a little bit, she's hard to open, but she will. And there we are. That's right, folks. That is a straight 8 flathead. It is the first year for this. This Pontiac is the first for a lot of things, actually, Pontiac related. And the first obvious first is anyways, is the straight 8. That is the first year for the straight 8. They did not produce it for very many years. Again, it's not going to fire up today. I do have the battery disconnected, 6-volt battery. It will probably eventually need to be charged. I have a 6-volt charger that will handle that. But again, we did, when we first got it in, we did get it running. Now, we had to feed fuel through the carburetor. Fuel pump won't siphon. Actually, if you look under the car, you'll see I tried to draw fuel from a can to see if I could get the diaphragm to come back. And unfortunately, it just, as much as I tried to soak it, it just isn't going to work. Now, you can buy replacement parts to rebuild the fuel pump. So I do plan on doing that. Now, I understand as we get into these older cars like the 59 Caddy and the 54 Pontiac, it's harder to find these parts, but they are out there. When you do find them, they're quite expensive. So on my budget, it may take me a while to get this car up and running. First, for the heater box up front and not in the trunk. That is a light, by the way, hood light. Got the horns up front. So first, on its own chassis. So Chevrolet, we're putting the chassis underneath these, the Bel Air chassis. In 54 Pontiac, Buick Oldsmobile went with their own chassis. So this model is actually a little longer than the Bel Air of its year. So this is 17.5 feet long. Oh, by the way, the Caddy that I have is the longest production Caddy at 19 feet. Longest one. It will not fit in this garage. I'd have to take out an entire bedroom. Regardless, I digress. This is a first for everything. So there's quite a bit more that's first on this car, but I don't even remember. I looked it up when we got it a while back, and some of it, you know, just don't remember. One of the coolest things, though, I always liked about these old Pontiac is the waterfall Art Deco style trim. So, yeah, that's pretty much the nickel-and-a-half-cent tour.
Don't be sad, don't be lonely. Don't you know that I love you only? Just be mine, and I'll be yours.
That wraps it up for this video covering the 54 Pontiac Star Chief. If there's more that you would like to see, questions, more details. Now, I'm not an expert on either one of these cars, by the way, but if you'd like to see more of them, more detail, because they are unique, you don't see them at car shows anymore, I'd be more than happy to do another video on that. Just like the Cadillac, this comes not only with a photo album of the people that was up north that owned it, with not only this car up there, their 53 Bel Air race car. I'll see if I can get some pictures of that and do that in another video, but there's a lot of history in a photo album with this car. And it comes with the service manual, complete service manual as well, just like the Caddy does. And it also comes with all the paint information. The one thing, oh, and a Manatee 15- plate from 1954. I was truly blessed to be able to have the opportunity to get these cars. There's so much coolness wrapped up beneath. Before I go, a really cool story that ties these two cars together is Addie Mae, who was the owner of this car. Her grandfather's the one that worked for Cadillac on the design team. She's the one that gave the previous owner her grandfather's service pins, who later found them after we purchased these two cars and gave them to me so I would have them and they can stay with the Cadillac. So it sort of ties the two cars together. They are yeah, because who would have thought that her grandfather was on the design team of the Cadillac that was also accompanying this car when we purchased both of them. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. These cars are really cool. This is what it's all about. I mean, I love resto mods. I love hot rods, street rods. Don't get me wrong. My 67's not, you know, like bone stock original. So I always am an advocate of it's your car, build it the way you want to. But when you have an opportunity to grab up cars like this that are basically like a time capsule, I mean, you just can't. You got to try every means. And I begged, borrowed, and steal to get these. Sometimes you have to try every means just to seize that opportunity. So I'm glad that I have an opportunity to try to be the next curator of them, and I really hope in my heart that I can do them honor and eventually get them up, you know, to par, safe drivers, where we can get them out to the shows and share the history with everybody. You guys have a blessed day, and we will see you on the streets.